All right, so let's continue to read Jeremiah chapter 52, the fall of Jerusalem. Zedekiah was 21 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 11 years. His mother's name was Hematal, daughter of Jeremiah. She was from Libnah. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, just as Jehoiakim had done. It was because of the Lord's anger that all this happened to Jerusalem and Judah, and in the end, he thrust them from his presence. Now Zedekiah rebelled against the king of Babylon. So in the 9th year of Zedekiah's reign, on the 10th day of the 10th month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, marched against Jerusalem with his whole army. They camped outside the city and built siege works all around it. The city was kept under siege until the 11th year of King Zedekiah. By the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine in the city had become so severe that there was no food for the people to eat. Then the city wall was broken through, and the whole army fled. They left the city at night through the gate between the two walls near the king's garden. Though the Babylonians were surrounding the city, they fled toward the Arabah. But the Babylonian army pursued King Zedekiah and overtook him in the plains of Jericho. All his soldiers were separated from him and scattered, and he was captured. And just like Jeremiah had told him over and over again was going to happen, he was taken to the king of Babylon at Riblah in the land of Hamath, where he pronounced sentence on him. This is going to be, There at Riblah, the king of Babylon slaughtered the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes. He also killed all the officials of Judah. Then he put out Zedekiah's eyes, and bound him with bronze shackles, and took him to Babylon, where he put him in prison till the day of his death. Remember, Jeremiah had proclaimed all this. He said, if you don't surrender to the king of Babylon, you're still going to end up in exile. You're still going to end up in Babylon. Sure enough, that's what happened. Continuing on. On the 10th day of the 5th month, in the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, commander of the imperial guard, who served the king of Babylon, came to Jerusalem. He set fire to the temple of the Lord, the royal palace, and all the houses of Jerusalem. Every important building he burned down. The whole Babylonian army under the commander of the imperial guard broke down all the walls around Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guard, carried into exile some of the poorest people and those who remained in the city, along with the rest of the craftsmen and those who had gone over to the king of Babylon. But Nebuzaradan left behind the rest of the poorest people of the land to work the vineyards and fields. The Babylonians broke up the bronze pillars, the movable stands, and the bronze sea that were at the temple of the Lord, and they carried all the bronze to Babylon. They also took away the pots, shovels, wick trimmers, sprinkling bowls, dishes, and all the bronze articles used in the temple service. Remember, because that was proclaimed as well. When the prophets told one of the kings, what did you show all the Babylonians that they were coming when they came to visit? And he's like, I showed them everything. And so the prophet was like, yep. And sure enough, they'll take everything too. And this is what has happened. All the prophecies are coming true. The bronze from the two pillars, the sea, or continue on. The bronze from the two pillars, the sea, and the 12 bronze bowls under it, and the movable stands, which King Solomon had made for the temple of the Lord, was more than could be weighed. Each of the pillars was 18 cubits high and 12 cubits in circumference. Each was 4 fingers thick and hollow. The bronze capital on top of the one pillar was 5 cubits high and was decorated with a network and pomegranates of bronze all around. The other pillar with its pomegranates was similar. There were 96 pomegranates on the sides. The total number of pomegranates above the surrounding network was 100. The commander of the guard took as prisoners Sariah, the chief priest, Zephaniah, the priest next in rank, and the 3 doorkeepers. Of those still in the city, he took the officer in charge of the fighting men and 7 royal advisors. He also took the secretary, who was chief officer in charge of conscripting the people of the land, and 60 of his men who were found in the city. Nebuzaradan, the commander, took them all and brought them to the king of Babylon at Riblah. There at Riblah, in the land of Hamath, the king had them executed. So Judah went into captivity away from her land. This is the number of people Nebuchadnezzar carried into exile. In the 11th year, 3,023 Jews. In Nebuchadnezzar's 18th year, 832 people from Jerusalem. In his 23rd year, 745 Jews taken into exile by Nebuzaradan, the commander of the imperial guard. There were 4,600 people in all. Jehoiachin. Jeremiah just told us what was going on and what has happened. So Jeremiah's living through this portion, and he's giving us firsthand experience of what's going on. So remember, when he was young, all the way up to now, he kept warning the people of Israel, kept warning the people of Judah and Jerusalem, and they didn't listen. So now all the prophecies have came past. So he's given us firsthand experience. He's given us firsthand, like, this is what's happened. And remember, all these prophecies are coming true. Bring them past to present. Listen to what the Lord has to say. Listen to him at all times, because what he has to say, it matters. It matters in all things. When we seek his advice, take his advice. Don't just seek him and have our minds already made up. I know it can be difficult. I understand completely. Sometimes I've done it. I'm like, already have something in mind, a resolution in mind, and go to the Lord and ask him already with the resolution in mind. Wrong. All the time, do we need to go to the Lord and be like, completely listen to the Lord and his guidance? Because maybe what we thought about is correct, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else that we don't know and that he's going to reveal to us. So think about those things in life. Before we go on, though, what kind of thoughts or feelings come to your mind when we read over this? How does it make you feel, and what does it make you think?